Silence. It is the loudest sound in the universe. We stand upon this fragile blue marble screaming into the void, begging for an echo. We send our radio waves, our golden records, our desperate hopes into the abyss, asking one single question: is anyone there? For decades, the dark has offered no reply, just the cold hum of radiation, the indifferent drift of stars. And in our loneliness, we have turned our gaze to our neighbor, the red planet. Mars is not merely a planet, it is a mirror. When we look at its rusted deserts and dried riverbeds, we do not just see geology, we see a ghost story. We see a world that was once wet, warm, and perhaps alive. It taunts us. It sits there in the black, a silent monument to what happens when a planet loses its atmosphere, when the magnetic heart stops beating. But we are not afraid of the dead. We are searching for the survivors. This is why we spend billions of dollars to fling delicate machines across the void. We are not just looking for rocks. We are looking for kin. We send our rovers to scratch at the rusted skin of the planet. We drill into the ancient clay. We analyze the methane spikes in the thin air, hoping they are the breath of bacteria. We are desperate to find a single microscopic cell, a fossil in the silt, a sign that says life is not a miracle, a sign that says life is inevitable. Imagine for a moment that we succeed. Imagine the headlines flashing across every screen on Earth. Life found on Mars. It would be the single most transformative moment in human history. The philosophical isolation of our species would shatter instantly. Religious texts would be rewritten. Stock markets would freeze. People would dance in the streets, intoxicated by the knowledge that the universe is teeming with biological potential. We would look up at the night sky and no longer see a graveyard. We would see a garden. But the champagne would be a mistake. The celebrations would be premature. If we find life on Mars, even the simplest, deadest microbe, it would not be a victory. It would be the most devastating news the human race has ever received. Because if life evolved twice, in just one solar system, it means the universe should be deafeningly loud. It means civilizations should be everywhere. And the fact that they are not here means something is stopping them. Something is hunting them. And if we find life on Mars, it means that we are next. To understand the danger, we must first look at the numbers. And the numbers are terrifying. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, contains up to 400 billion stars. Roughly 20 billion of those are sun-like stars. And orbiting those suns are billions of Earth-sized planets sitting in the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold. Places where water flows. Places where life should begin. The universe is also old, 13.8 billion years old. Humanity has only been here for a blink of an eye. There have been billions of chances over billions of years for other civilizations to rise, to thrive, and to conquer the stars. If even one civilization had mastered interstellar travel, they could have colonized the entire galaxy in just a few million years. A cosmic heartbeat. By now, Earth should have been visited, or at least we should hear them. We should see their Dyson spheres blocking out the light of stars. We should hear their radio chatter screaming across the sky. But we see nothing. We hear nothing. We point our telescopes at the richest, oldest clusters of stars, and we find static. This is the Fermi Paradox. The contradiction between the high probability of alien life and the absolute lack of evidence for it. So where is everyone? Why is the universe, which should be a bustling metropolis of life as silent as a tomb? The answer lies in a concept called the Great Filter. Imagine evolution as a staircase. Life starts at the bottom, simple, dead matter. It climbs up to single cells, then complex cells, then animals, then intelligence, and finally, at the top, interstellar civilization. But the Great Filter suggests there is a step on that staircase that is nearly impossible to climb. A trap. A barrier so difficult that almost every species that encounters it dies. This filter is the most important variable in our existence, and it only has two possible locations relative to us. Option 1. The filter is behind us. This means we have already survived the impossible step. Perhaps the impossible part was the spark of life itself. Perhaps we are the chosen ones, the lottery winners, who made it past the hurdle that killed everyone else. Option 2. The filter is ahead of us. This means the hard part is coming. It means that civilizations rise all the time, but something stops them before they can leave their home planet. They destroy themselves, or the universe destroys them. Right now, humanity is praying for option 1. We want to believe that we are special. We want to believe that Earth is unique, a rare Earth. We want to believe that the reason the universe is silent is that life is incredibly agonizingly hard to start. If life is hard to start, then we are safe. We are the first. We are the lonely pioneers in an empty house. It is a lonely thought, but it is a safe one. It means the great filter is in our past, and the stars are ours for the taking. But if we find life on Mars, that safety vanishes. Here is where the trap snaps shut. If we find life on Mars, we must ask one question: where did it come from? If the bacteria on Mars shares our DNA, if it is just Earth life that hitchhiked on a meteor a billion years ago, then we are safe. That proves nothing. But if the life on Mars is independent, if it has a different genetic structure, if it represents a second genesis of life occurring twice in the same solar system, then the rare Earth hypothesis is dead. Think of the odds. If life is so rare that it only happens once in a trillion stars, finding it on two planets next to each other would be statistically impossible. It would be like winning the lottery and then finding another winning ticket on the sidewalk 5 minutes later. It doesn't happen unless winning tickets are not rare, unless they are everywhere. A second genesis on Mars proves that the spark of life is not a miracle. It proves that the universe is teeming with biological potential. It means the staircase of evolution is crowded at the bottom. And this is the nightmare. We are left with two conflicting facts. Fact: one life starts easily proven by Mars. Fact 2: the galaxy is empty of civilizations, proven by our observation. How do you reconcile these two truths? If the galaxy is full of life, but empty of adults, it means that something happens between the microbe stage and the starship stage that kills everyone. It means the great filter is not at the beginning of life. It is at the end. If Mars is alive, it means the easy part was the biology. The hard part is survival. It means the great filter lies ahead of us. We are not the survivors. We are merely the candidates. We are walking down the same path that millions of other worlds have walked before us. Worlds that buzzed with life. Worlds that perhaps developed intelligence. Worlds that looked up at their moons and dreamed of expansion, and then vanished. What is this filter? What is the wall that no one seems to pass? Perhaps it is technology itself. As a civilization grows powerful enough to leave its planet, it also becomes powerful enough to destroy it. Nuclear fire, engineered pandemics, artificial intelligence that aligns against its creators, climate collapse. The moment we discover the power of the gods might be the moment we sign our own execution order. If we find life on Mars, it confirms that the silence of the night sky is not because we are alone. It is because everyone else failed the test. If the filter ahead theory is true, then the galaxy is not empty. It is a graveyard. Imagine the Milky Way, not as a void, but as a collection of ruins. Billions of worlds where life began. Billions of oceans that teemed with simple organisms. Perhaps millions of civilizations that built cities, wrote songs, and looked up at the stars, only to hit the wall. They found life on their neighboring planets. They celebrated. They thought they were joining a community, but they were simply reading their own obituary. And so when we look at the latest images from the Perseverance rover, or the Curiosity rover, we must change what we are hoping for. Every time the drill comes up empty, we should sigh with relief. Every time we analyze a rock and find only sterile dead minerals, we should cheer. We should pray for a dead Mars. We should hope that the red planet is utterly hopelessly barren, because a dead Mars keeps the dream alive. A dead Mars means the great filter is behind us. It means the difficult part, the miracle, was starting. And because we have already started, the universe is open to us. We have spent our entire history afraid of being alone. We look at the size of the cosmos and feel small. We feel insignificant because there is no one else to talk to. But in this context, solitude is not a curse. Solitude is a shield. If we are alone, it means we are the first. It means we are not walking into a trap, but blazing a trail. The silence of the stars is not the silence of a graveyard. It is the silence of an empty canvas, waiting for us to paint it. This realization brings a heavy burden. If we are the only intelligent life in the Milky Way, then we are the universe's only way of knowing itself. We are the eyes of the cosmos. If we destroy ourselves with war, with greed, with carelessness, we are not just killing a species. We are blinding the galaxy. We are extinguishing the only light in a billion light years of darkness. Deep. We have a responsibility not just to survive, but to become the adults that the universe has never seen. So let us keep looking at Mars. Let us keep digging. But let us hope that we find nothing. Let us hope that the rocks are silent. Let us hope that the dust is dead. Because as long as we are alone, as long as the night sky remains quiet, we still have a chance. End of transmission.